Namaskar, friends, and a warm welcome to the 10th lesson on secrets of the law of attraction. We have been doing this series for a long time now, and we will be covering 24 such programs where you will get to know in totality all the secrets of this universe to get whatever you want in life. So, to begin with, let us move on. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because we have a vision to power business dreams of the people of India, give them the necessary knowledge of the mind so that they are able to achieve, able to create, able to make whatever they wish to make of their lives, of their thoughts, and let India become a solid, powerful country of tomorrow. So, this mission, we are actually using manifestation techniques, both ancient and modern. The ancient techniques come from Sankhya Darshan and Yoga Darshan, which is about 2,400 to 3,000 years old, and from the teachings of the Master Key system, which have come out recently around about 1910, and they have created a modern, powerful America. So their teachings have been used extensively, as some people say, in California, in the Silicon Valley, and some of the well-known billionaires of the world have used it. So we are sharing that knowledge with you in the hope, in the anticipation that you will be able to become a billionaire yourself. So let's see, what is this law of attraction? As the name suggests, it is a law. So is it a local law? Is it a law of the country? Or is it the law of the globe? Or is it the law of the universe? Or is it the law of all time? So if you go by what the Indian scriptures say, this law is here for eternity. This law of attraction merely states that whatever thoughts you are creating in your mind and holding those thoughts inside you, they turn into a reality outside. That means your mental reality becomes the physical reality. So if you want something particular, a particular object, a particular desire to be fulfilled outside, in the world outside, where other people can see, touch, feel it, then you need to first bring in those thoughts inside you, cultivate them, nurture them, grow them. And once these thoughts inside you, once they grow, once they are nurtured, then they become powerful entities. And then they create the object which you want in the world outside. So this particular session is about abundance. And we will tell you how to work with abundance. If all of us, I'm sure, want to be abundant in life, we want to have an abundant personal life, we want to give abundance to our family members, we want to enjoy abundance at our workplace, we want to have friends, relations, and whom we know to have abundance in their life. So let us look at nature. Let us look at the prakriti around us. We will find that she's extraordinarily lavish, also wasteful and extravagant. When it rains quite wastefully. When it is giving life to certain forms of life grow in huge numbers. So this nature is a huge entity, virtually an infinite, extravagant entity. When you look up in the sky above, you will find trillions of stars. You might find trillions and trillions of planets out there. So one must know that our existence is an abundant existence. And there is no economy anywhere in the universe. But in spite of there being so much of abundance, why is it that all of us cannot realize it? So we will look into that fact. How do we realize that abundance in our life? This is a very important point. Please note that wealth is the child of power. It is only when you have power, it is only when you have Aishwarya, will you be like a king, will you be like a lord, will you be like one of those people who control the planet based on their money power. So wealth is the result of power. And I'm sure all of us want wealth, huge amount of wealth, abundance of wealth. So to bring in wealth into your life, you must first of all bring in power. So we will see down the line, how can we bring in power? But before we do that, let us look at our thought. What is a thought? And what does it connect? What does it do? Thought, my dear friends, is the connecting link between what is finite in us to what is infinite. And it, in a way, can be understood as my memories are finite. And out of my memories, thoughts arise, thoughts come because of what is already there inside me. And these thoughts, which are finite in number, can connect through our subconscious mind to the universe within us. We have that universe within us. We are the children of this universe. We are the fruits of this universe. So what I mean to say is, even though we may be finite, there is the infinite in us. And even though we may be infinite, there is still the finite in us. And it is the thought between the two, between the finite and the infinite, which we can create as a link. And then what happens when we create a link between the infinite and the finite? Real magic will happen in your life. So here, just remember this master key. Please note this slide very, very carefully. This is one of the most important secrets of this universe, of this creation. And that is thought. Thought is active. Thought has vitality. Thought has form. It is dynamic in nature. And it has the power. Our thoughts have the power to correlate with its object. Every thought would be about something or the other. So that thought about something or the other is connected to that something or the other. So in all probability, thought would be mental, and that other to which that thought is connected would be the physical, would be an object in the world outside. And thought is the link through which we are able to bring into us the invisible substance from which all things are created in the visible or objective world. That means in nature, in Prakriti around us, there is some invisible substance. And that invisible substance, which is present in the universe, which is the infinite presence, which we cannot see under normal conditions because we lack the senses to see them, which is eternal. From that entity, which is invisible, with the power of thought, we can pull in that energy, that power, and bring it out into our world outside. So power flows from, one can say, the spiritual end of our creation to the mental part of ourselves to the physical part of the world outside. So this is a very important slide. I would suggest you can note down these points and keep it handy whenever you are trying to attract abundance. Now, here's a very simple thing. If there is growth anywhere, then there must be life. Mountains don't grow on their own. Nothing which is physical grows on its own. So when there is growth, then there has to be some form of life there. And wherever there's life, there must be harmony between those life forms. If there is lack of harmony, or if there is no harmony, what will happen is each life will attack the other life and kill each other, probably even eat each other. So there will be no growth. There would be decay. So my dear friends, everything that has life is actually expanding. So how does it expand? It expands because it is in harmony with its world outside. And because of that harmony in the mind with that thought, it constantly attracts to itself certain conditions which is there in the mind. And through those conditions outside, it is expressing itself. So the individual in us is expressing in the world outside based on life inside us, based on harmony which we have with various life forms inside us and with various life forms outside us. So harmony is that essential quality based on which the infinite powers flow into our mental world and then go further out into the physical world. So as I told you, harmony of our thoughts is very important. It creates a closed circuit, a connection, an energy flow circuit between the universal mind and our individual mind. So what flows in this closed circuit? Energy flows in this closed circuit. Power flows in this closed circuit. And it flows from the infinite source. There is no, there is no end to what that source can give you. It is infinite. And it flows into us. That is, into my body, into my mind, into your body, into your mind. So we need to learn how to establish this closed circuit so that the circuit can have energy and power flowing from the infinite into us. As I told you initially, these are programs meant for business people so that they are able to have a right thinking system. They are able to understand the laws of this universe. They are able to understand the less known secrets of manifestation. And we even provide customized one-to-one coaching to each one of these people who are interested in scaling up, in growing, and becoming billionaires by their own right in our country. So you will find this WhatsApp number and the email ID if you're seriously interested, if you have a burning desire to do something great in life, if you have a purpose of life, then you may please contact us. We will take you through to the destination you want to reach. Another very important aspect here is we have seen thoughts, and we have seen thoughts can create objects outside. But what kind of thoughts to create? We must always create constructive thoughts. When we create thoughts which are positive, when we create thoughts which are constructive, they bring beauty to the planet outside. They make a heaven out in the world outside. And a constructive thought necessarily has to be creative. There is something new. There is something which is coming out for the first time. But even though this is a constructive thought, a creative thought, it must be harmonious. We don't want people to create thoughts which are inharmonious, which spreads the wrong feeling amongst people, because then growth will not happen. For growth to happen, harmony is essential. For harmony to be there, thoughts are essential. For thoughts to be there, they have to be constructive and creative. And when you do this, all of us have certain thoughts which are destructive or competitive inside us. But when we learn to create constructive thoughts, creative thoughts, harmonious thoughts, we will find our destructive and competitive thoughts will slowly die, will slowly get out from our system, and all our work would be creative, all our work would be of the highest order. So completely eradicate, completely wipe out disharmonious, destructive, or competitive thoughts with a conscious recognition of the law of attraction. Be conscious about this law of attraction. I am becoming more and more of what I am thinking. I'm getting more and more of what I am thinking. So if I want to have something better, something which is by far the best, then I have to create those thoughts, which are not only better than the previous thoughts, but which are the best thoughts which I can create. And we must have a purpose, an intention of bringing them into existence for a purpose, for a definite use, not only for ourselves, but to people outside. We must always remember the golden principle: maximum benefit to the maximum number of people. And when we understand this, that maximum benefit is possible, maximum number of people to whom it can go is possible. Because as per the law of attraction, whatever I think becomes true, becomes real, becomes physical. So let us elevate our thoughts. Let us go out to the highest thought and let us create a world of heaven outside on earth. This is another interesting facet of our thoughts. Again, I think this is a very important slide. Look at it again or take a picture of this. And if possible, make a poster and put it up in your drawing room. What does it say? It says wisdom, strength, courage, and all harmonious conditions are the result of power. So when you have power inside you, you will feel you are wise. You will feel you have strength. You will feel you have courage. Now the question arises, where does this power come from? This power can only come from within. As I told you, it is inside us, the thoughts, which create power. If I think of a powerful thought, I will have power inside me. If I think of something which is non-powerful, I will become non-powerful in real life. So everything is generated inside us. Inside us, you can say, is the kitchen in which we cook the food of various thoughts. And this food of various thoughts becomes the reality within us and outside us. So, similarly, if there is a shortage, if there is scarcity, if there are adverse circumstances in your life, then that too, my dear friends, is a result of weakness. Weakness which is there inside you. And weakness simply means the absence of power. It is not coming from any source. It is simply not there, which is creating the weakness. Therefore, we must learn how to bring in that power, hold that power, and in that powerful environment, create the thoughts of wisdom, strength, courage, and all that we want. I'll give you a good example here. Suppose I find that my courage is of the level of 10 units and my fear is of the level of 20 units. So most of the times I'm fearful because I have more fearful thoughts than power thoughts. So what do I need to do? What I simply need to do is focus on that power thoughts. As I pay attention to those 10 thoughts of power, as I concentrate on those 10 thoughts of power, as I think of harmony with those 10 thoughts of power, as I think of the maximum benefit to the maximum number of people, I will find that power inside me is growing. You can check it out. You can test it out and write to us as to what did you actually find. So wisdom, strength, courage will grow. And when it grows, say 100 times, it is able to overpower the feelings of fear, which most of us have. So fear becomes inconsequential. That is why, my dear friends, this is a very important slide. Note it and start working on it. If you really want to do something big, something grand, if you're looking at becoming a billionaire. So again, he's repeating his thought. If you're having thoughts which are disharmonious, if you're having thoughts which are putting limitation to yourself, all you need to do is develop power. And there are certain mental exercises which help you to develop that power. If you don't have the mental power, how can you create physical power? If you don't have the mental power, how can you pull in the spiritual power and hold it there and construct something positive and good for yourself and the society? So we come to a mental exercise. Our mind, we never exercise. We exercise our bodies by going to the gym, physical gym. How many of you have ever gone to a mental gym? Have you seen any mental gym in your area? Have you seen any mental gym in your city? Have you seen any mental gym in your state? Have you seen any mental gym in your country? Have you heard of any mental gym in the world outside? No. We are so busy with our bodies that we forget the mind. That is why today, more than 30-40% population, they say, is undergoing treatment of the mind to put the mind in order. So here I will suggest you a mental exercise, which if done well, will improve your power of seeing your thoughts, holding your thoughts, changing your thoughts in a very creative way. So let us begin. Whenever you do a mental exercise, please sit in a comfortable manner, in a comfortable chair. It can even be a sofa, it can be a rug. You can even lie down if that is giving comfort to the body, because it is essential that the body be comfortable. Only, friends, when the body is comfortable, can you work on the mind. So now, be seated comfortably and look at the wall in front of you. Mentally, draw a horizontal black line of about 6 inches. And then at the beginning and the end of the line, draw 2 vertical lines of same size, 6 inches. And on top of that, place 1 line of 6 inches. So all these lines are black in color, and these 4 lines together are forming a square. So are you able to see a square, a black square in your mind? That is the exercise. And if you are, then you go further. Draw a circle, a black circle inside that square. That circle is touched on all the four sides by the four lines. All the lines are black in color. Now at the center of the circle, put a dot at the center of the circle and imagine that you are pulling it towards yourself by about 10 inches. So what you have now, you have a cone with a square bottom, but black in color. Now, using the power of your internal eye, using the power of your imagination, using the inner sensing, try changing the color. Change it from, say, black to red, from red to green, from green to blue. If you are able to do this, that means you have a mind which has got the right kind of nerve cells in place, and it can visualize with complete detail, and you are a man who can go ahead and start creating at a far bigger level. In fact, you would be at a far higher level than other people in the society if you have this mental capacity. So, my dear friends, we come to the end of today's session. I would like to thank each one of you. And just remember, it is the mind which has power. It is the mind which can give you infinite amount of abundance. How you learn about the mind, how you practice with the mind, and how you apply the mind decides the amount of abundance which will come to you. Thank you so much. God bless each one of you, and we will meet you in the next session. If you have any questions, do feel free to ask. The contact numbers are there. Let us together build a country which is super strong, both in terms of money power and in terms of abundance of all sorts. And let our country show the way to the whole world, how we can grow in harmony, grow at exponential speed, and achieve all the dreams of 140 crore Indians. Thank you so much once again. May God bless you.